Hello and welcome to today's video. So something a little bit different this time. I'm going to be unboxing and having a look at my mum's vintage collection of TGA Green Cornish kitchenware. So about 30 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, at auction, I bought myself a collection of Cornish kitchenware. It cost me about £35. It was a box load of stuff. I loved it. I put it out on display in my flat at the time. But my mum saw it and she really sort of fell in love with it and thought, I'm going to start collecting my own collection of it. And she did that for about 10 years. It was on display in her house. It was beautiful. She had a really nice dresser, purpose built to put it all out on. It was gorgeous. But they've since downsized and the collection got boxed up. And I've been storing it for the last sort of 2.5 decades. It literally hasn't been out since then. I boxed all my stuff up a long time ago because I've got nowhere to put it. But what I thought might be fun is, because I've never had it out for so long, I would empty this dresser here in my studio, this bookcase here. I'll pull all that out. I'm going to go through all the boxes. So I've got one big box of my own stuff, and I've got 6 boxes in front of me here of my mum's collection. It's all been meticulously wrapped up, so I need to unwrap it, and then we'll have a look at it. And what I'll do in the editing stage, I'm going to try and look some of these pieces up so that I've got the correct names for it, because I don't remember all the different various names for it, and also what the actual Cornishware might be worth today, sort of on the second-hand market on places like eBay and that, because I believe, even back then it was getting quite collectible. I believe it is even more collectible now. So I'm, naturally curious about what I've actually got in these boxes. So without further ado, let's get started with box number 1. Right then, so this is the first of 4 smaller boxes, and it's marked blue, so none of these were sealed down. But yeah, this has got blue and white Cornishware in. So what we'll do, I think I'll just get out of these big cardboard boxes and then we'll unwrap the pieces sort of individually. But there's going to be quite a bit here, and just even in this first box here, by the looks of it. I can't really remember what's in here. I mean, I remember some bits, of course, but the collection as a whole, no real idea about what's in here. But there we are. So what we'll do, we'll go through and, we'll get this stuff out of its bubble wrap and take it from there, I think. Okay then. So, well, this seems quite an obvious piece. It looks like the salt thing. So I didn't personally wrap this up. My mum did. I will be able to reuse this bubble wrap once I have had everything out and just sort of made a little catalogue of it all. Okay. So, salt. So it's got the shield base on it. Wow, look at that. That is really cool, isn't it? A little wooden top on it. I mean, that's in really nice condition, isn't it? I mean, there's a few like little blemishes on it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, excellent stuff. I don't really have an idea about the dates on some of this. I know the Judith Onion stuff was sort of mid-60s onwards, wasn't it? The stuff with the shield, I believe, was the more common stuff. And when did the shield come in? Like the 1930s, 40s, up to the 60s? And then I'm pretty sure I've got at least 1 or 2 pieces with like an earlier church logo on, which is even earlier. But I suppose that had the little hole in it as well. So I guess it would designed to sort of sit on the wall there, and you'd take a pinch of salt, something like that. But anyway, that's a nice start. Now, is this an egg cup? Or something similar? Some of these I know are a little bit obscure, and I'm no expert on this, so I might need to look some of these up in editing, but I mean, that to me looks like an egg cup. What do you think? Let's bring the camera down a touch. Yeah, to me, that looks like an egg cup. I mean, obviously it's not marked because there would be nowhere to put it. That is gorgeous, isn't it? That really is nice. I'm sure that must be what it is. I mean, I don't know. Can it be? Not 100% sure on that one, but we'll assume it's an egg cup. What's this? Slide that over there. It just looks like a little bowl of some sort. Not really sure. It's just like a small mixing bowl, something like that. Don't think it's anything else more than that. Really clear stamp on the bottom there. Yeah, nice. What's this? This looks like a pear. So is this salt and pepper? Shakers maybe? Looks like that's what it appears to be, doesn't it? Pepper, look at that. It's almost like it's got some pepper on there. You see a little bit of wear around the dots there. There we are. Like the TJ Green logo is on there. They don't put the stamp, just a little name. And this is quite heavy, this rubber bit, so I'm assuming that's original. Look at that. Feels really nice in the hand, I've got to say. Really, really good weight to it, you know. And there we are, there's the salt. So that would have been it. That one's missing its stopper. Not the end of the world, I suppose, but there we are. They feel massive, you know. Really big compared to the sort of salt and pepper shakers you might find on a table today. I suppose it's a bit more akin to a grinder, isn't it? But there we are, look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, so I've just cleared the decks a little bit here. Looks like a couple more sort of mixing bowls. That's interesting. I mean, it's got quite a bit of staining inside, isn't it, that one? You see that? That one's a little bit more worn. But it's a bigger size than like the first one we've got there, you know? And there is another one here. This one's even bigger. There we are, this one's not so worn inside. It's got a few like little marks, but nothing much. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing because it shows it's actually been used in the kitchen, doesn't it? But that's really nice. So we got 3 mixing bowls in this particular box there. So I'll carefully pop them in there. Oh, we got something else here. I don't know. Well, this one looks like it's marked butter. So a butter dish maybe, or a butter bowl even. There we are, and I see this has got a black stamp rather than a green. There we are, butter. That's nice. Now there is a lid here, which I'm assuming is probably for the same dish, but for the same item, but we'll double check. I would imagine Mum probably put these in together. There we are, look at that. So that's really nice, that, isn't it? So I guess you would have had your block of butter in there, and to stop anything getting at it like flies and that, you just pop the lid on like that. Fantastic. And we got one more item from this first box, which is giving the game away there. Flour. So it's a flour shaker. I like to do a bit of baking myself. Wouldn't it be funny, you could actually bake with all this original Cornishware. Look at this. There we are. Now that's nice, isn't it? Because it's got this sort of domed one. I seem to remember, now it's coming back to me now, I had a 60s one which is much more sort of angular, and it's a gold one I think I've got, or it might be yellow, I can't remember. Let's see, is this... Oh yeah, look, it's a twist off lid. Look at that. That's really nice, that one. That is really, really nice. There we are. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Well, I'd say that was a pretty good first box, wouldn't you? And we got another 6 to get through, so let's crack on. Okay, so box number 2. It says more blue. Okay. There we are, so a fair few pieces here again to go through. Alright, let's get these unwrapped. Okay, so this is a lid. I've got a couple of lids here, so I think these lids must go on one of these, a teapot, or what do they call it, a coffee pot? Oh, wow, that's the biggest piece yet, isn't it? Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's really heavy as well. That's really, really nice. Now I imagine this might be the stopper for it, the lid rather. Such a shame I haven't actually got anywhere to put these in my kitchen, although I have been in discussions with the wife to see if we can get a shelf put up. It's need to be quite a strong one, which I think I could pretty much get most of the collection out on, but we'll see how expansive it actually gets. But this looks like this is the lid. Yeah, there we are. So is that a cafetiere? I just don't know what the official term is, but it looks just like a coffee mug rather than a teapot, should we say. So that's that one, and there is another one very, very similar. It seems this is not got such a big spout on it. And this one's actually got, it's got a little bit of a stain there, and it's I don't think it's anything that could be washed off. It's just, no, I think it's actually into the glaze, possibly, and historical. So what is that then? That's a slight variation again, isn't it? So jug of some sort, and there's another lid here which I suspect is the lid for this one. I know one of the big things with TJ Green was the named storage jars, and I don't know if either myself or my mum ever went down that avenue trying to get loads of different ones, but I would be surprised if she didn't have some, you know. So yeah, so this one, look, there's a little splash of sort of yellow that's come down. I wonder what that was, but I mean, apart from that, it's very, very nice. You can see where the spout has been added on after it's been fired and painted, because the blue's inside there. The blue with the holes, and then they put the spout on afterwards. But yeah, it's almost like a smaller version of that one in a funny sort of way. So let's move that in a bit. So what's this? This is another lid. Okay, so this may coincide with something we haven't seen yet. So we might need to put this one on the back burner, possibly. Is it a lid? Now this is a mystery. What is this then? I mean, is that it? That was it. You would put that over something, maybe on a plate. You'd have a plate and you'd have something in the middle and you'd put that over to keep it warm, possibly. Like you get your fried egg out. Ta-da! Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what the official term is for that. As I said, I'm unfortunately not an expert, but I am an enthusiastic fan, shall we say. This looks like just a straightforward plate by the look of it. Yeah, just a plate. Got some crazing there. I don't know if you can see that, but you could imagine that that's how it was. Let me serve you your breakfast. Possibly. I don't know. There's another one here. It looks similar. It looks a bit like a lid, but I think it's just like a warmer or something. It would be keep your meal warm, maybe. Although this one has a couple of holes in as well, maybe to let steam out, possibly. Look at that. There must be an official sort of name for it, but I wonder if that goes on there like that. Because there's another smaller plate. This is the last bit from this box. And it would be just like my mum to keep everything together. So I suspect that goes on there. That, to me, actually looks a bit more like it. So that's what was in that box. Yeah. What do you think? There must be a name for that, but honestly, I don't know what that is. Is it a butter dish? Possibly. Not sure. Oh, it's fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating and gorgeous to look at. Okay, so I've got the first of the two big blue boxes out, and I guess these are just because they've got bigger pieces in. So, rolling pin. Some mugs as well. Oh, this is heavy. Oh, there we are. That was a big box. Okay, so some juicy looking bits here. Not really sure where to start. Let's do this rolling pin, because I remember she had a friend, that the chap who built the sideboard with her collection on, he also built her like a little stand to put her rolling pin on, which is what this is. So I remember that now. So let's get this one out and have a look at it. I suppose this is one of the more iconic pieces, isn't it, of the Cornishware? Certainly. It was a bit I always wanted, but never actually got. But I can't remember how much Mum paid for a lot of this stuff, you know. I said it was about 30 years ago when Mum started picking it up. I'd picked up a lot about 35 years ago at auction. I used to go to house clearance auctions to buy books and big lots of paperbacks and stuff. They used to turn up with retro gaming, and this lot came up. And I bought it. So all of my stuff, it's not as nice condition as Mum's, but we've got a big box of that to look at in a minute. But there we are. Look at this. There we are. Wowee. So look, it's got a little bit of wear, which I think actually adds authenticity to it, doesn't it? You know, you can see it's actually been used in the kitchen. That is really awesome, isn't it? I tell you, it really would be fun to do some baking with all original Cornishware products, wouldn't it? You know, like from the time, like period baking. I wonder how that would be. That's really nice, isn't it? I mean, it really is a great piece, and the stand's a good idea to have it on. Stop it rolling around and what have you. Right, what's this little one? I know there's more than one sort of style of the rolling pin, and I've got no idea how to date it, so I couldn't see any markings on it, but we'll assume it's original. It certainly looks it, doesn't it? I'm not sure what this piece is. It looks like a small... Is that like a milk jug? Is that what we would call that? Oh, no, look, now it's got an earlier stamp on. Look, TJ Green. That's the church one, Church Gresley. So this is perhaps the earliest piece we've seen today so far. I'm pretty sure I've got a bit with the church on. But my piece is like a much bigger. It's like a jug or something I seem to recall. But that's really nice, isn't it? So, I mean, when does this date from? Is this 1920s, 1930s? Is this about 100 years old now? Beautiful condition, isn't it? Really, really nice, that one. That is gorgeous. It's one of my favourite bits I've found so far, I think, in the collection, is that one. Now, what is this? This looks like a mug, a coffee mug or something. I seem to remember the 60s stuff that I've got, the Judith Onions, with like a spiral logo on. I think I've got loads of that. I mean, I really do, but I don't think it's in tip-top condition. I think it's very much used, but I don't really mind that so much with this stuff because it was designed to be used. And now look at this. This is something very similar. This is almost identical to that one, almost, except this has got the later shield on the bottom, and this one's got the original Church Gresley logo on. There we are. But they're basically the same thing. They're almost the same size. That one's got a slightly thicker spout. I imagine these are just pulled in like that out of the pottery. They're lovely, aren't they? Very cute, very cute. Let's get this big one out of the way. This one looks like it's marked milk. So it's a milk bowl of some sort. Oh, it's got a measurement inside, so this is to measure your milk on, I guess. And it's funny, we've not seen any other colours yet at all, have we? It's all been the blue and white. So that is a milk jug. Look at that. Shield base. There we are, the little marks inside. Pint, half pint, pint and a half, and a quart. It's lovely, isn't it? You can almost picture them in the factory, just popping the thumb in like that. Brilliant. Lovely. Now this has not got a lid on, but there is a lid in there, so we'll have a look. I'm not sure. Is this a storage jar? Maybe it's a plain storage jar, not a named one. I said, I don't know if Mum had many named ones. I really don't. So that is just a normal storage jar, isn't it? Like that. Here's a lid, but it's much smaller, so it may be for one of those. I don't know. I don't think it's for that one. Oh, well it is. Look at that. It fits. But that's just a plain, unnamed storage jar. Okay, so let's see what's this one. Looks like a mug. So it looks like to me. Of course, I've got the pleasure of wrapping all this up again when we've finished filming it. So it goes back into storage until such time as I can get mine on display. But that just looks like, to me, a very large, very generous mug where you'd have a big mug of tea, wouldn't you? That's gorgeous. I really like that. I could use that today, in actual fact, a mug that size. It's lovely, isn't it? Oh, brilliant. It's enormous. Okay, now we've got a couple of bowls here. This looks like a colander. Yeah, look at that. Wow. That's an exciting piece, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, and it's got quite an interesting stamp on the bottom. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that church Grizzly since. It's really early as well again. So this could be, I mean, this is, I guess, at least 80 years old. More than that, really. Probably close to 100 now. Look at that. That's really so good, isn't it? You can see that it's had some use, which I think just adds to the, the authenticity of it all. That's really nice, and that I don't think I've ever seen that stamp before. Wow. Now we got another really big piece here. Is this just a huge mixing bowl? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It's got sort of handles in a way at either side, so maybe that's a serving bowl rather than a mixing bowl, but it could probably double as both, couldn't it? Got the Shield logo on. Well, that was a box of winners, wasn't it? Every single one. Absolutely fantastic. That is really, really some good stuff there. Okay, so this is the second of the two larger boxes. And yeah, this was heavy, this box. Looks like it's got some plates in and saucers. Yeah, there was a lot in this box, so it might take us a while to get through it all. This looks like a big pile of plates by the look of it. Certainly I don't remember packing my Cornishware collection up quite as neatly as my mum did. There we are, yeah, loads to get through there. Okay, I don't quite know where to start with this, so I'll just put that over there just for a moment. Let's get this one out, because it sort of falls in the hand, as it were. So, another sort of cylinder here of some sort. And I was speaking to the wife about TJ Green and Cornishware, and I remembered having a couple of books, and I know my mum had a book as well on the actual pottery, and it was like a square book, and I don't know, but I couldn't find my original books, and they may actually be in with my collection, of course, I don't know. But there was a big square book, like an album almost, and then there was a little hardback. And I don't know if Mum's still got her books or what, but we may come across them packed away in the stuff. But that was a really good guide to it. I do also remember, years ago, I'm not sure what that one is, that just a little bowl of some sort. Years ago, and I am talking like late 1990s, there used to be a programme on Channel 4 called Collector's Lot. And the first season was introduced by Sue Crook, who you may remember from Crime Watch. The second series was introduced by a woman called Debbie Thrower, who I believe used to work on Radio 2. And that's just like a cup and saucer, isn't it? Yeah, she used to work on Radio 2. So I went on Collector's Lot because it was a programme that was filmed and produced local to where I live in the southwest at the time by 2-4 Productions. And at the time I had a collector's shop in Plymouth, and we used to sell a lot of Star Wars and comics and books, but we would hook that production company up with other collectors who would then be featured on the programme. Like we had a guy who collected stuff related to the Alien movies, and we put him in touch, and then a Simpsons collector we put in touch. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? I don't know what that is. That's quite unusual, isn't it? I'm assuming that's a correct match. I mean, it fits perfectly, so I'm assuming that's correct. But anyway, back to the story. So I had to go into Cornwall and to film my bit for the program on retro video games, and they put loads of displays on, and I brought all my collection down, and it was a really good thing. I have found a copy of it which I'm currently getting digitized, so that will be on the channel at some point quite soon, in the this year anyway. But anyway, at the same time they were showing a person, and it may even be the same episode, but where they filmed it, the person had an absolutely incredible collection of Cornishware. I mean, you wouldn't believe it. It was like a couple of hundred pieces, maybe more. So I don't know, but that may actually be on the same episode that they sent me. They sent me a copy of the episode that I was on, but it's on like a video CD. And I don't think I've got anything in the house that will actually play it, not even an old laptop. But I've got a friend who works at the BBC now, and he's going to transfer any old video that I've got, because I found some footage of my old shop as well, which is going to be pretty cool. So, God blimey, look at all these plates. There's loads of them. But here's a little mug here. So yeah, keep an eye on the channel, because I may actually be able to find that footage from that old, turn of the century Channel 4 program, which focused on Cornishware. I'm not sure if that's correct, if that's a cup and saucer like that. Really don't know. I don't know on that one, but it sort of feels correct, Now we've got some plates here by the look of it. And some of these have got like, what do they call it, crazing on. They've got some like lines. And I believe, is this something that happens if something's been under lots of hot water? See, this is a slightly larger one than that. Now this one seems, it's like an oval serving bowl. Let's put this over there a moment. I'll try and keep everything in picture. These bigger bits are harder to film. There we are. Cool. This is really heavy. This is really, really heavy. Look at this. Beautiful condition, isn't it? That is gorgeous. You can't get over the weight of it. That's the biggest surprise to me. It's just how heavy this is. Crazy. Okay, so making a bit of headway here. We're doing all right. This is another little lid of some sort. And I'm wondering, I think this fits that very first bowl that we had here. Look at that. So is that like a marmalade bowl? That would have a little cut, wouldn't it? Or mustard, for example. It would have a little cut there for a spoon to be poking out. But I don't know, maybe it's a bit early for that. Once again, I'm going to probably need your help in the comments about what each piece is, and then potentially I can actually create a list of what we've actually got. But it's going to be a long old job, and I'm not even sure I'm going to have time to look all this up online to see what it's going for. And anyway, the thing is with YouTube videos, of course, I put something up and this is worth this and this is worth that, which is sort of done with old toys and that in the past. And over time those prices just go out of date because the market changes, stuff goes up, some stuff goes down. It's just the way of collecting, isn't it? So they do always say, collect what you love, because then if in the future it goes up in value, well, fantastic. But if it doesn't hold its value, well, you've not lost anything, because you bought stuff that you loved to begin with, and I think that's the case with something like Cornishware. I certainly picked it up because I just liked the look of it, and I did buy it pretty cheap. The same with my mum. I don't think she paid big money for any of it. She just picked it up because she just liked the look of it, and it was something fun to collect. You know, she could go to the antique shows and just enjoy herself collecting it. I think that's probably why she got into it. Although she is Cornish, she's well aware it wasn't actually made in Cornwall, but it does sort of, you sort of think of the blue, the waves, I don't know, Cornish coastline. So once again, this is similar to that previous one in that it's got a bit of depth to it, like that. So not 100% sure if it has a particular name, you know. And here's another one. So I think that's the same as that one. So she's got like two of those, the larger serving one, and then the big one there, the big one at the back. I don't really want to put any more pressure on these, so I'm going to slide those next to it rather than on top. And we have this beast here. This is a huge one. Now this doesn't appear to have a lid, unless the lid is in another, like a sugar one, unless the lid is in another box possibly. So we'll have a look. I think this is the biggest sort of storage jar we've seen today so far. This is heavy. Look at that. That's an imposing piece, isn't it? That. Oh, look, and it's really early again. Look, it's got the church grizzly. So that might be why it's missing the lid, unless we come across it in a minute in another box. Look at that. So what's the age of that now? Is that, you know, we filmed this in 2023. When did this come out? Was it in the 1920s? Is this now officially 100 years old or thereabouts? Or is it a little bit less than that? Maybe 80 to 90 years old. I really am unsure on the dates on this, but wow, fantastic to look at. So we've still got my big box of Cornishware, which is more 60s as I recall. And we've got two more small boxes to get through, but I think we are just about over halfway. Okay, so as the box might suggest, yellow. Oh, wow. Indeed, a box of yellow. Wow. I don't know if I ever had any yellow stuff. I definitely had that bit of gold. I don't know if I ever had any. There was red as well, wasn't there? Which I think is the hardest colour of all to get, I think. But this is a box of yellow stuff. So that's pretty cool. Right, well, let's start with this. Wow. Okay. It's so different, isn't it? The shield on the bottom there. So what is that? It's just a tall sort of pouring jug, isn't it? Now there is something that possibly might be a lid to this one, but I'm not 100% sure. As I go through this, before I put this out, I'm going to try and identify all the different pieces, and I'll sort of put that into like a sub heading there. So is this anything to do with this? Maybe. I'm not sure. We might need to do some research on that, but we'll leave that lid on there for now. And what's this? Is this a big sort of teapot, maybe? It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? That's lovely, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Beautiful condition, that one. I wonder if we've got a lid. Well, there is a lid here, so looking pretty promising. Let's see. It's well wrapped, I'll tell you that. There we are. Shall we give it a try? That does look like it's the... Yeah, there we are. Look at that. With the hole in the top as well. Lovely. So I think that is like a pair. That's a teapot and a... Is that a coffee pot or cafeteria? I don't know exactly. And what's this over here? Oh, it's just like a mug, isn't it? A coffee mug. That's all right. It's almost as if, I'm pretty sure that must be the lid for that one then. It just looks slightly out of position, but out of shape. But that, I guess those two would have gone together maybe. Something like that. Possibly. Now we do appear to have a big pile of, well, plates of some sort. So let's have a look at these. I can't remember if I had any yellow stuff. I definitely had that bit of gold. But God, the memory cheats, doesn't it? As I said, this has not been looked at for over 25 years. And I think my stuff's not been looked at for about 30 years. So just to give you a bit of an idea. There we are. So that's like a side plate, isn't it, of some sort. Check the bottom here. It's all got the green shield on. Now that's actually slightly larger than that one. It's all sort of the same period, isn't it, by the look of it? That's the same again. It's sort of similar sort of size like that. There we are. So a box. That was a whole box there of the yellow and white, which is rather nice, isn't it? I like the yellow and white. I think the blue has more sort of definition. It's more distinctive, but that's still a nice little selection. I don't know if there's any more yellow and white to come, but we've still got one more small box to do and then my big box. So let's crack on. Okay, so the last of Mum's boxes now. Gold and blue. Ooh. And a magazine. So we'll have a little look at that in a minute. It's a little magazine on Cornishware. A bit beat up, but it'll be okay. Well, I thought at first glance it was yellow, but it's actually, it does seem to be gold. And some more blue stuff. Oh, that's heavy. Okay, lovely. Okay then, so let us start, I think, with this big gold one here. I mean, that's called gold, but it's more brown, isn't it? It's more like an earthy colour. Oh, look, this is 60s. That's Judith Onions. That's the Target logo. That's the first time we've seen that today. And I said, I got a lot of this. I've got a lot of the 60s stuff. Original Cornish Kitchenware by TJ Green Limited. Restyled by Judith Onions. And this one appears to have a little lid. Look at that. It's like it's got that little rubber band around it to create a seal. Like that. It's nice. It's got a tiny, tiny little chip out. It looks like a chip. Gorgeous though, isn't it? That's really nice. That's really nice. What's this? Now didn't we see one of those beforehand, which was like a cover to put on a plate or something? That may go with another bit of blue, which we've got down the line, although there is this one here. So I don't know if this has anything to do with it. No, I don't think so. I think this is just a saucer. So I don't think that's anything to do with it. What's this little fella? Is this a salt thing again, maybe? It's much smaller than the ones we had earlier on, isn't it? The salt and pepper. There we are. Well, it is a pepper one. Look at that. Oh, it's really early. Look, it's got the church logo on there with a little stopper, which we'll assume is the original one. Look at that. So it's an early church Gresley one. So it doesn't screw like the later ones. It's just got the stopper, and you fill your pepper up that way. That's really nice, isn't it? That's pretty darn good, that one. Just a mug of some sort there. Vinegar. I remember these now. I don't think I ever owned one, but I remember the vinegar one now. Isn't there a few different variations as well? I'm sure I remember seeing that in one of the books. There's like, 3 variations of the vinegar dispenser. So that lid to me doesn't seem authentic. That just doesn't. But the rest of it is, of course. This is heavy. It's like a stopper, really heavy stopper, and it does fit. But I just don't know if that's actually the real deal. It looks a bit too new for me. Another mug of some sort. This is Judith onions again. So maybe the gold didn't come in until Judith onions took over. I don't know. And what about the red? It looks like, I know the red's the rarest, I think, but it doesn't look like there's any red in Mum's collection. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have any red. I may have had some yellow. I can't remember. I definitely had a gold flour shaker similar to this. I'm certain of it. And there we are. Look, Judith onions again. It is beautiful. I think it's really, really nice. And this was 60s, wasn't it? 1960s. Even this is like 60 years old now. Really, really nice. That really is. So I'll clear this away, then we'll have a look at that magazine. Right, a bit of a beaten up old magazine here. Collect It magazine, number 37 this is. And this looks like it dates to July 2000. That gives you a bit of an idea about when this was current. So it's page 8 is the feature on Cornishware, so not too far into it to find out what's what. Here we are, a Cornish gold mine, they say. Look at this. Cornish gold mine. There, let's see, lovely. Nice, lots of different names there on this. There's the different vinegar tops. Blimey. And look, they've got some orange, which I've never seen before. and the red. Well, there's some of the 60s Judith Onion stuff. Cornish Goldware, showing shapes made before and after the Judith Onions era. Yeah, I'm certain I've got a bit of that. Blimey, and that looks familiar as well. I think we'll see that in a minute. Yeah. So there's a few facts here. There's a Cornish Collectors Club devoted to collecting Cornishware. Cornishware is included in BBR's twice yearly Kitchenware. Some specialist Cornishware dealers. There's the Cornishware book, which I believe I've got a copy somewhere if I can find it. Listed below is a general guide to Cornishware prices, and let's not forget this is 23 years ago. So up to £25 for early plain whitewares, brown mixing bowls, modern stuff less than 20 years old, TJ Green jars and caddies, plates, side plates, small pudding bowls, saucers and plain jugs from the 1930s onwards, small jars and caddies with common names, up to £50 for large pre-war jars bearing common names like flour in smaller sizes. Standard 1950s cruet sets, unbanded rolling pins, that's up to 50. A banded rolling pin, which is what Mum's got, is up to 100. Egg separator, kidney-shaped cruet, gravy boats, egg beaters, colanders she's got, hasn't she? A fireproof pie dish. 30s cruet, sauce bowl, double egg cups, didn't see one of those. Small measuring jug without a handle. Up to £200, early cruets with an open salt. Okay. Sauce bowl labelled sauce with a handle. The clock. Rare letter jars like mollusks or brands like Oxo and Lux, that makes sense, which are now coming to light. Over £200, handled flour shaker. A Melor cafetiere, lemon squeezer, toast rack, I haven't seen one of them, a square storage box and red and white sifters. Well, there we are. So, all good stuff, I think you could agree. Yeah, not a bad little article, that. So anyway, we have now, momentously, got to unpack all my stuff, and this is going to be a bit more of a job, I reckon. Okay, so the last box. So this is my original stuff from back in the day, back in the 90s, I believe this was, and all I had marked on it was Cornishware. I don't know if you can see that, Cornishware. This box is really heavy, and I think it's absolutely ram-packed with stuff, but it's not going to be as nice condition as Mum's, I don't think. So we'll just try and get it out first of all. God blimey. Maybe sort of layered in by the look of it. God, there's a lot of it. There is a lot of stuff here. So, as I said, virtually all of this, bar one or two pieces, I got in one hit. Back in the 90s. As I recall. It was just in a house clearance auction, I remember, and there was a couple of like antique dealers who I was in competition with, but I got it for like 30 quid. I couldn't believe it, really. As I said, it was only a house clearance. It wasn't like an antique dealing auction per se. This appears to have been sort of layered in, so I might have to put the box on the floor in a minute, I think, just to get everything out. Yeah, sort of running out of spot here, so it's a bit lighter now. Let's pop it over here on this chair. Cool, that's a big old jar there. I think that's the one I remember was quite an early one. And that, I think, is the gold one under there. I was just saying to my wife, because I had a little pause before I tackled this lot, I remember when my godfather died and he had a storage jar, and it was a Sultana's one, I remember, but unfortunately it didn't end up coming to me after he died, which was a bit of a shame, because I thought I was actually gonna get that, but you know how it goes. Wow. Yes, so quite a bit in here, quite a bit in here to unwrap by the look of it. So yeah, let's make a start. Well, there you go. I mean, wow, this bit sort of fell out at the time. I remember loving these little egg cups. Absolutely lovely. That's actually an early one, so maybe I've got some stuff which is a bit earlier. I thought most of it was Judith onions, so I can't really remember, but we'll just unwrap each piece. And thankfully this stuff isn't, it's not taped, so we should be able to get into it quite easily. What's this? There's bits inside bits here. Okay, so that's a little pepper. Is that 60s? I don't know, but it's got a little stopper in the bottom, so popping some of this temporarily over to the other side until we've made some room here. So my wife's just come in and I've said, look at this, you know, because I've got a lot of it already out on display, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but I think she was quite impressed with it. This is the bit I remember. This was always my earliest piece, look, with the Church Gresley logo on there. See if I can get that without the reflection. There we are. This was always my earliest piece. And oh, it's got rice on. Rice baby. Wow. God, I don't really have enough room, do I? I'm trying to go for the bigger bits first of all, and then we can put the little bits around it. So okay, here's a lid here, so this might fit one of the bits we've already had a little look at. I think that goes on there. I think. Yeah. Too big to go on that one. I suspect that's the right one for it, but may not know. This is a mixing bowl here. So this is, oh look, this is recent. This is clover leaf. That's no good, is it? That's the modern stuff. Well, we don't want this, do we? Clover leaf? Blimey O'Reilly. It's an imposter. It's an imposter, I say. That's the real deal. Okay, I'm sure clover leaf was like a re-released stuff, which, yeah, we're not fans of that, are we? Not on this channel. We like originals. Oh, this looks nice. What's this? Quite delicate. So I'm imagining that's like a little mustard pot or sauces, something like that. Very nice. I'm sure I got more to do with that later on. Aha, another lid of some sort. Now that lid actually looks like it goes on there. Like that. That looks good, doesn't it? Okay. I'm just glad I didn't actually tape it all down because it's survived okay. Now we've got some bowls here. There's a few of these. So I should be able to just stack these bowls up. So these are, I guess, what, like a cereal bowl? Something like that. There's a little set. As I said, this was from a house clearance auction, most of this. And I suspect it was being used right up until the person passed away and all their stuff went into the auction house, the clearance auction house. So that's my suspicion. So this was actually being used on a sort of on a day-to-day basis, I think. There's another little egg cup. I absolutely love those. I gotta say, they are gorgeous. Very, very cute. Possibly just because they're small. Oh, there's another one in here. We'll do that in a minute. Ooh, a milk jug. There we are. That's very clear. Oh, it goes up to a pint, that one. It's got the black shield on the bottom. Bit of wear. I said some of this I know wasn't mint. But you know, I don't really care. Aha. Now this is, look. So this has got 3 spots, which I think one of those is for like that. That's what I think that's for. Pretty sure that that's the case. But we got another. Blimey, I literally can't move for it. Look, this is Judith onion stuff. We're going to need a bit of a sort out here. Just getting a little bit mixed up. So I found yet another egg cut. So that's 4 of those now. So yeah, so we ran ahead of ourselves there. So these are 60s Judith onion bowls, and I imagine we've got cups of some sort to go with those. Right, some big plates here. These are shield ones. And in fact, there's 3 plates in total. So 3 big plates. So look, this is salt and vinegar. So do these go like that, do you think? I don't know if you can see that. So is that how they went? The mustard and salt and pepper on, like they've got the little three positions. That sort of looks right to me. But this is another salt again. It's a different one. And this looks also very small. This is another one. Blimey, how many do I need? That looks more modern, doesn't it, with the cylindrical style. And that's another salt one. Like that. And then we've got this one here, which is another one again. So there's 3 different salt shakers. Oh, blimey, I'm getting confused. What's this then? Judith onions. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to go on there. It's just like a little coffee mug of some sort. Let's just move this camera around a bit. There we are. I want you to be able to see what I'm actually sort of unpacking here. So it's another more sort of traditional mug of some sort. This one again is one of those sort of slightly bulbous, like coffee mugs of some sort. I really like those. That's Judith onions again, the 60s design. And there's another one, exactly the same. 60s design. So even a lot of what we're looking at here is 60 years old. And this is the only bit I really remember having, that and the earlier storage jar. Look. So this is the flour shaker, the Judith onions flour shaker. So that'll go really well with my mum's gold stuff, won't it? That's a bit dirty on the top there. Look at that. It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. I did have mine out for quite a long time, and then I probably gave it a cursory wash before I packed it all away. Okay. Let's slide that in the back. There is a bit of room here. There is more room once you've got it out, really. So there's another sort of slightly more traditional mug. So we've got some squat mugs and we've got some sort of traditional ones. So I'll pop that on there. What's this? Sugar. This looks fairly early, doesn't it? That's nice. Let's put this milk jug to the back there. We're starting to see the wood from the trees here now. There's another one of those little squattish sort of mugs. So I'm popping these over this side. And there's another one in that range. So it looks like I've got some coffee sets. What's this at the back? Oh, it's quite heavy. Oh, blimey. Something else inside there. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? It's got the Shield logo on, but that's just a nice big coffee mug, that one. Or coffee jug. Sorry, milk jug, I should say. I can't get my words out. It's been a hell of a morning, you can understand. I may have overdone it slightly with the packaging, but nothing appears to have got broken. So that's the 5th egg cup I've found now. Right, there's one really big piece at the back here. Oh no, look. It's got another egg cup. So that's 6 of those I've now got. 6 of those little egg cups. I don't know if that constitutes a set or what, really, you know. Right. This is the biggest piece left to unwrap, and it's another big storage jar. So let's push the rice to the back. God, this is enormous. I do vaguely remember getting this, actually. That is really, really heavy. Oh. It's got no markings on, but it has to be genuine, doesn't it? What the hell is that? I have no idea. Christmas decoration. I mean, that hasn't got any markings at all. But everything about it, the look and feel of it, it appears like TJ Green, so I'm assuming that is. There's no way that that's an imposter of any sort. You can just see by the age of it, you know, that's the genuine thing. It just hasn't got a stamp on, which I guess in itself is unusual. Answers on a postcard, though, or in the description down below, in the comments. Is that a common thing to sometimes have bits which don't have a label on? Right, we're almost there. Just got, it looks like a big wedge of plates to unpack now. Oh, another cereal bowl. And another cereal. God, there we are. We've actually got to the end. I honestly thought it was never going to end. Right. Wow. Wowee. Well, I think we've got it all sorted. That's the... I don't know that... I think that's a pear. I think that is actually the pepper. It's just got a single hole on. I think. So that's a pear. This one has got maybe a new bottom which fits in. I don't know. But that's... Now, wait a minute. That's the salt and pepper. And I think that's 60s stuff. This is the earlier 30s to 50s maybe. Sort of set salt, pepper and sauce with the holes. I think that's definitely right. We've got... I've got 5 cereal bowls, you could call them. They're a matching lot. These are like, there's 3 side plates. Now these ones, I've got, looks like I've got at least 3. Yeah, I've got 3 of those. This is a lid for something, but I don't know what. I think this is a storage jar lid, which fits something else, so I'm not sure. But we'll need to keep that separately. But quite a big old wedge there, and I particularly like these egg cups. So let's get that all up on the side here, and we'll have a look at the collection as it stands right now.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that she'll take it into her side. La 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 la.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed looking through that TJ Green Cornish ware as much as I did. Certainly it's one fantastic collection, and I certainly hope that in the near future I can actually get that out on display in my kitchen on a couple of shelves, because I think it will look fantastic. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it that thumbs up. Do please hit the subscribe button for regular vintage retro content, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.